my little party animals. Hiphiprenee here today with a brand new speed furnish for you on my brand new channel. That's right, brand new channel because my last channel caught on fire while making a grilled cheese. So I did mention, obviously, that this is a speed furnish, which means the exterior of this build was already done for me. So this is actually another collab. It's my second of the week. I am back to being the collab queen. I am determined to keep my title. And this collab is a Valentine's Day restaurant with Zamboxious-Sims. I know that we are a little bit late on the uptake when it comes to the Valentine's Day situation. Valentine's Day was about a week ago at this point, but Zamboxious was having some computer problems last week. We originally planned to put it up on Friday. That's when you guys got the couples spa retreat that I had built. So we ended up just pushing the video back to today so that way she could, figure out whatever was going on with her computer and get everything edited and put together and all of that fun stuff. So now here it is. This is the last of my Valentine's Day shenanigans on the channel until next year. So don't worry, I am not going to continually bombard you with Love Day, Valentine's Day builds. And I will say all three of my Valentine's Day builds were not super crazy over the top Valentine's Day. So they can be very easily incorporated into your game, regardless of whether it is Love Day. Honestly, this is a restaurant and it's just a nice restaurant. I really like it. So Zamboxious-Sims and I obviously chat all of the time. I don't know if you guys know this. I have a lot of Sims friends, but I have a few like very, very good Sims friends that we chat literally every single day. Like we're actual friends on Facebook. Like we're like for real friends. Not that my Sims friends are not my for real friends, but you guys know what I mean. Zamboxious-Sims and LilacLydiaDeetz and I all kind of chit chat, and they are both part of the admin team on the Sims creators community. If you guys are not familiar with the Sims creators community, I don't know where you've been, because you need to be friends with them on Twitter, you need to follow them on Tumblr, you need to follow like all of the social media things that they have, you need to follow because they're fabulous. They share all sorts of people's creations. They do all sorts of these amazing epic challenges and just so many fun things to just kind of get everybody involved in whether it be building or creating Sims or taking pictures within the game or just whatever else it is that they do. So Zamboxious-Sims had messaged me and said that the Sims creator community was doing a challenge. So she can't win the challenges because she's an admin over there. So she did warn me. She was like, listen, if we do this, you can't win either because it's a collab. And with her being an admin, obviously it's not fair if she wins one of their challenges. So we decided to do it anyway. Just as kind of a, we want to do something Valentine's Day related. We also really love doing community lots, and I haven't really done community lots in a while. I know that I did one on Friday. That was my spa. That was my first one in a very, very long time, and I don't know why, because I really do enjoy doing community lots. So Zamboxious-Sims and I chit-chatted about it, and we were like, yep, we want to do a restaurant. And I messaged her and I was like, have you ever seen the TV show First Dates? Now, I have never myself seen the TV show First Dates, but you guys know when you fall into that rabbit hole of like videos on Facebook. So you're just kind of like scrolling through Facebook and you see your friend like shared a video, so you watch that video, but then the next video pops up and that one starts, and then you just like fall into this like 500 videos, and 18 hours later you're still watching videos on Facebook. If you don't do that, like, don't start. This is my life, guys. It's bad. It's addicting. I need to stop it. But anyway, so all of these videos that tend to pop up on my phone, a lot of them are from a TV show called First Dates. And to my understanding, First Dates takes place over in the UK. I want to say it's typically in London. And it's essentially just a dating show about people being set up and going on first dates. It can't be any simpler than that. But the restaurant that they go to seems to be the same in every single episode, and it's a really, really nice looking restaurant. So I kind of just sent a few clips over to Zamboxious-Sims, and I was like, hey, why don't we kind of go with like a first datesy kind of thing? So we would have, you know, a spot, like a bar spot where they could first meet, so they could just sit and have a drink before they go up to dinner. Then they have a totally separate area where they can go to dinner. Then they have a nice little area where they can chit chat after. So Zamboxious-Sims did a really, really great job building this restaurant in a way that it was very easy to put all of the different spaces in here that I needed. And the only thing that we had to add in here as far as the Sims creators community, their challenge is concerned, is there needed to be a woohoo item. So if you notice later on when we get out towards the patio, I do end up putting a few woohoo bushes, because shower didn't quite make sense. I wasn't going to just put a bed in a restaurant. That seems unsanitary and really unnecessary. So I did end up putting those woohoo bushes out there. We can't win, and I actually think technically the challenge is over now. But we made our best effort. We really tried. So the downstairs, obviously, just getting into kind of chit-chatting about this build a little bit. You walk in, you have the hostess station, so that's right there. Over to the left and the right, there are two little seating areas. I kind of assumed those would be just some nice spots if you were coming in just for dinner and you did not want to either sit at the bar or sit outside. You could sit over in those chairs and wait until your hostess could bring you upstairs to the actual restaurant portion of this build. We do have the bar in the center. It seems like on first dates, every single time that a new couple meets, one of them is sitting at the bar waiting for the other. The other comes in, they sit down, they have a drink together, and then they move over to sitting at the table where they are going to actually eat. So that was kind of the vibe that I wanted to be able to have here. I really wanted to do a mainly pink kind of vibe from the inside. But the more I put down pink items, the more I hated it. So I really just kind of used pink as a very light accent in this build. And I used more light blue than I thought I would get away with. But I really feel like the light blue just kind of brings everything together. It really works with all of the fancy columns and all of just, you know, this build is a little on the fancy / eccentric side, and I really wanted to be able to keep that vibe while also making the restaurant something that is very easily usable in your game. So this restaurant should, like I said, be very easily usable in your game. Now, when Zamboxious-Sims built this, she did not really give me a layout or anything like that, and we were chatting the other day when I actually furnished this, and I was kind of telling her where I figured out to put the kitchen, and she kind of laughed a little bit, and she was like, yeah, I wasn't really sure where to put the kitchen, so I just didn't, and I thought you'd figure it out. So thanks so much, Zamboxious, for doing that for me. That was really sweet of you. I had a really hard time trying to figure out where to put the kitchen here. I am not super sold on the placement of the kitchen, but it really kind of was the only spot that made sense. There's a lot of windows in this build. There is not a lot of space that I could have just straight up blocked off. So going with the kitchen just kind of in this front area, it just worked. It was really the only spot that it could go that it made sense. So I did end up putting up that really large half wall, so that way the chefs and everything could kind of be hidden from everybody that is eating. I didn't want to have a huge open air kitchen. We don't really have nice enough like restaurant items and kitchen items to be able to really do an open air restaurant. If we had like some sort of like a big fire kiln for pizza or something like that, that would have been really cool to do as an open air restaurant. But these just like silvery, like crappy looking kitchens. It just doesn't scream fancy restaurant to me. So I decided to keep it separate and just kind of use that half wall to block it off from where everybody else would be. I did a lot of decorating back here as far as like putting items on the wall and all that kind of stuff. I really wanted it to seem like it was an actual spot that people would be, you know, cooking and everything like that. And then I decided to do the waitress stands over here right by the kitchen. I figured that would be a good enough spot to kind of have it be nice and central. I have not played running a restaurant in a really long time, but I do remember the more of those stations, the better, but I did not want to clutter up this build with too many of them. So if you do download this and you end up, you know, buying it for your Sims and you run it as a restaurant, I would suggest probably putting in a few more of those waitress stands, especially downstairs, because the tables downstairs do count for the restaurant. So you'd either have to remove those tables or maybe get like a kitchen down there as well. You could probably take out one of the bathrooms. I really don't think that you need two in this build, but I wanted to put two just because I like things to be as symmetrical as possible. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but you will definitely see a lot of symmetry upstairs in this build. So if you notice, I'm really just taking one side and copying it over to the other side. Same tables, same layout, same everything. Even the centerpieces on each of the tables is the same from one side to the other. The only thing that I do switch up is right behind the staircase, I do end up putting in just kind of like a little table on each side and a few little decorations, nothing super crazy, but I wanted to be able to put down some of those wine bottles, as well as, you know, just like some ketchup or some hot sauce or what have you, you know, things that your waitress or waiter would have to bring over to your table. It's probably not sitting on your table in a restaurant this fancy, but you know, if you order a steak, they're going to bring you over some kind of a steak sauce. And then I realized I wanted to do some little kind of seating areas over in the corner over here. This is where I assumed they would kind of finish off their date. So there's a nice little couch. They can sit down. They can snuggle up after their date if they got along. If they didn't get along, maybe they're just going home. But then I was like, oh, well, they can just like see right into the kitchen. They can hear all the cooks and all that weird stuff, and that just seems not fun. So I ended up putting up that little divider. I am hoping that there is plenty of space for the Sims to be able to get past the divider and into the kitchen. I did very, very briefly play test this, but it was about a week ago at this point that I actually play tested it. So I do remember cooks coming into the restaurant, but I'm not 100% sure if they ended up getting to those kitchen stations or not. I was a little bit more concerned with taking screenshots of my couple in this restaurant for the end of this video. So I'm sorry, I kind of play tested it, I kind of didn't. If you guys are new here, just know that I so rarely playtest my builds. I'm sorry. I'm really lazy. I'm just so lazy, and I always feel silly that I don't have like just a builder sim. I need to make just a builder sim and have her be super, super rich so she can buy and move into whatever house I need her to, or go to whatever lot I need her to, and I really need to work on play testing. But, you know, one step at a time, guys, okay? I'm just starting to really kind of edit my voiceovers, which is not a thing that I did before. But if you guys have been listening, you should be really impressed with me because you haven't heard really any ums lately. It's because I've actually been editing them out, which is not a thing that I did on my old channel. So step by step, guys. We will take this step by step. So we are going to be moving into the screenshots. I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this build. I hope that Zamboxious-Sims loves the way I furnished it. We did kind of talk about it a little bit. I don't know if she's actually seen the entire build. I sent her just a few screenshots and she did seem to like it. So hopefully she really enjoys it and we can work together again in the future. If you guys did like this build, please give it a thumbs up down below. I would super appreciate it. If you're new here or you're not new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you get notifications every single time I post a new video. I will see you guys again on Friday with the Ugly to Beauty Challenge. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.